Hi, I'm Marie, David's oldest sister,
I'm Margaret, his second oldest sister.
I'm Christian, the youngest.
and we'd like to introduce David and give you a better idea of who he is. David was born in 1986 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. We grew up overseas, mostly in the Middle East, because our father works for the U.S. Foreign Service. David is one of 5 children, 2 older sisters and 2 younger brothers. He's lived all over the world, including Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Washington, D.C., Kuwait, England, and Qatar. In 24 years of life, David has only lived in the United States for 8 years. He's lived in many interesting places and had many unique cultural experiences. As a little boy, David had many ear infections, and as a result, his speech was delayed. Once he had an operation on his ears and could hear properly, he went from being completely mute to talking normally. When he was a baby, he had a favorite blanket that he carried with him everywhere. One day, we were riding on an escalator, and his favorite blankie got sucked into the escalator. David was devastated at the loss of his blankie. For his 4th birthday, David got a Batman tricycle, and when he saw it for the first time, he squealed with delight. David was a classic middle child. He was nice to both his younger and older siblings. During high school, David played football, Little League baseball. And his first job ever was working as a sandwich artist at Subway restaurant. He graduated from high school from the American School in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
After graduating, he decided to attend Brigham Young University in Hawaii. BYU Hawaii has lots of international students, so this was a good choice for David. Even though he was one of few Caucasian students, he felt like he fit in because he had always been a foreigner, living outside his own country. After 2 semesters at BYU Hawaii, David decided to serve a mission for his church. He was asked to serve a 2-year mission in Nashville, Tennessee. David had never been to this part of the country, and his 2 years in Nashville were a very unique experience for him. Learning how to speak and understand the Southern dialect was almost like learning a whole new language. After his mission, David returned to BYU. Shortly after coming home, David met Ayae, and they started dating.
Even though they both loved living in Hawaii, Yaya wanted to transfer to BYU Provo so she could pursue a degree in recreational therapy, and so David could pursue a degree in computer engineering. It took lots of convincing, but finally, Aya convinced David to leave the sandy beaches of Hawaii for the snowy mountains of Utah, so they could continue their educations. Before moving to Utah, David proposed to Aya. She said yes. David and Yaya were married in the Salt Lake City Temple on October 2nd, 2008. David has many interests. He loves everything about computers. He loves fixing and assembling computers. He loves computer games, and he loves Japanese anime. He also loves to bake and cook. He is a wonderful chef, and he's very creative in the kitchen. He also has a newfound interest in Japanese culture and in the Japanese language. With the help of Yaya, David is learning Japanese and hopes that his children will be bilingual. David seems quiet at first, but once you get to know him, you find that he's actually very outgoing. He has a great sense of humor and is very laid back. His family is very important to him. He is a loving son, brother, and husband. He has made lots of good decisions in his life, but the very best decision he made was to marry Aya. We both and we wish we could be.
Okay.
Omedetou gozaimatsu.